Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey Combs. Good to be here with you on a beautiful Tuesday, August afternoon. Breathe, release, and let go. The deserve factor. D-E-S-E-R-V-E, deserve. A Latin word means day of service. And thank you, Emily Wilkerson, for your awesome content that you produced and the graphics for deserving. It's beautiful. If you get a chance, Emily Wilkerson, who does my branding for me and does Substack on episode 837, did an amazing effort on the deserve factor, and she did go out via email, and you also did receive it on Facebook here. So I'm going to cover deserving today. It's a very undeveloped topic. Not many people ever cover it, and I want to thank the great Frederick Lehrman, who really assisted me to understand this content with his audio cassette series that I purchased in 1996 called Prosperity Consciousness. And that's where I learned the word prosperity means prospero, in the flow. And to be in the flow that's what it means. You're flowing and there's movement and there's a space that you're operating in, and it's in the flow. You're not resistant, you're not procrastinating, you're not avoiding, you're not getting ready to get ready. You are in the flow. And this is my new black polos. So I've got a whole new set of polos that will also assist me with the flow, because it's just the feel. It's the feel of it all. It's the crispness. It's that feel of it. It's the flow. And that's what deserve is. And if you're not deserving, then there's a high probability you are guilty. You're operating in shame. You're uncertain. You're in doubt. And so your frequency to noise ratio that you're in is you're frequently in an overwhelmed state of fight or flight, not certain, doubting that process. And when it comes to selling, you'll have challenges selling. You'll have challenges prospecting, connecting with people, because you're operating in mistake consciousness because you don't deserve it. And instead of getting the gold right here, you get the copper. Instead of this $5,000 coin, because that's the weight of the gold, you get the weight of a penny. And that's copper. Even though copper is valuable, a penny has very little weight, and so you're not going to get the gold. But if you're not skilled at deserving and receiving, and your scale is highly tipped to giving and over-obligating and enabling and doing too much for others, because you were groomed as a child to be a grown-up before your time by alcoholic parents, narcissistic parents, and then the educational system taught you that you have ADD, ADHD, they groomed you into that, or whatever else they groomed you in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and you were groomed to be codependent, then you will be an enabling over-obligator, and your emotional relationships, your intimate relationships, and sometimes your business relationships, you will not feel good enough. Kevin Paulson, good to see you, my brother. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin's been following me for around 30 years. So, and Francine, good to see you here this afternoon. The topic is the deserve factor. And for those of us in recovery, a lot of our addictions were based on not being good enough. And we would stuff our feelings with food, alcohol, medication, marijuana, compulsive debting, spending, whatever our drug of choice was. Well, codependency was always my sideline addiction. And I didn't really understand codependency early in my recovery. I did not really grasp what the term Al-Anon or CODA and ACOA wasn't there, or it wasn't prevalent when I started. Later in my recovery, I started to understand how codependent I have been in intimate relationships, and there were relationships that I would sabotage because I didn't deserve it, and said did not deserve it. So if you're just joining me, the word deserve comes from the Latin word deservere, D-A-S-E-R-V-E-E. Da in Latin is day of service. There's a big difference between serving, that's what you're doing as you're a waiter, you're serving, and providing service as a business owner. But many people can't distinguish between the E on the end of the word and the ing on the end of the word. So instead of deserving, instead of service, they're serving. And that it becomes a distinction that requires being able to have a better boundary so that you are servicing your clients, not serving them. And what many people tend to do is they overserve, do too much with an expectation that they're not rewarded, and then they feel disappointed, and then that disappointment fulfills that I don't deserve it. And deserving begins with the foundation of love, loving self, loving God, letting go, practicing the skill set, the separation between the feelings and the events that shape them, being present, accessing the quantum field where all situations are possible when you're operating from love, joy, bliss, understand, know, aware, certainty, and then higher consciousness also is when enlightenment. And so in that enlightened stage, when you are in higher consciousness, the pineal gland is open to the possibility of. This is when, if you're feeling deserving, this will change who and what you attract. If you're unconsciously don't feel you're good enough, subconsciously don't feel you're good enough, and you live in repressed and suppressed feelings, then you will continue to attract your reality, people and situations that will fulfill your feelings of being confused, not deserving, disappointed, frustrated, and the anger family because you are not good enough. And the reason that many people don't ask for what they want is because they don't deserve it. They don't feel they deserve it. Then they've been groomed by society not to pry in other people's affairs. Don't be nosy. And this contradicts selling. So if you've been taught not to be nosy, that can affect your ability to fact find, rapport build, and small talk. And so as you let go of the wives' tales and other stories you've been taught through the dystopian world that we live in, and through trauma-based mind control, and through the agenda New World Order and all these situations that want to keep you in poor health, overwhelmed, anxious, and then the Great Reset will take all your money. So, I mean, this is what we're looking down the gun barrel of. And so if you live in this overwhelmed state, it's definitely going to affect your energy and your frequency. And if you don't feel you deserve it, then you're in a mixed message. And this is what happens to many direct sales people. They join the industry of insurance, network marketing, direct sales, real estate, a multitude of opportunities, and they oftentimes land in great companies. They're in a great network marketing company or insurance or real estate, and they have the mentors around them. The products and services are ideal, but the anxiety about the outcome that hasn't happened is what hinders many people. That's worry about the future that hasn't happened, and then projecting your worry then creates the overwhelmed feeling of procrastination and avoidance. And on the foundation of that all is because of the trauma you experience, sexual, physical, emotional, and generational, that you experience between either the last trimester of your mother's pregnancy. You come into this world with dysfunctional parents, and then you yourself become dysfunctional in that dysfunction because you're in so much fight or flight and anxiety, fear and doubt. And it's that hypersensitivity that many people have that lead to brooding, pouting, being way too sensitive. And then there's the other side of way too angry, way too intense, which can lead to narcissistic tendencies. And so somewhere in the middle of all this, you want to find your deserve factor. But if you continue to find yourself in careers, relationships, families that does not foster love, does not foster gratitude, and you continue to let yourself get criticized by family members, well, you're going to attract other people to your reality to fulfill those same feelings of not deserving it. And then the lower self-ego will continue to recreate the situation to fulfill the feelings of not being good enough. The breakthrough factor is the deserve factor, when you feel you deserve it. So Elvira is an exceptional painter. If you haven't followed Elvira LaMontagne, she just joined me here today. Elvira, the three of you are here from Florida, Kevin, Francine, and Elvira. I'll be speaking at the Miami airport with Josh Waxman that will be on September 26th. That is a Saturday. And I'll be speaking from 10 until noon. And there is a code. It's called WAX100 when we get there. That'll what you'll say to get into the event for free. All my clients can come for free, and I will be. All three of you have seen me speak before, so Elvira is a skilled painter. But if she may have the greatest painting in the world, but if she doesn't feel worthy of it and doesn't put the value on the painting of what it's worth to the future buyers, and she doesn't have that out in the universe, there's a high probability that won't sell because she doesn't feel good enough. And I've seen many people who are artists continue to perpetuate being the starving artist. I have a client, Kira Faircho, who is also a world-class painter, and some of her paintings go for 6 figures. I mean, once again, people will buy what they perceive the value. That's your value ladder. And if you don't perceive yourself to be valuable, then it hinders your ability to be able to ask for your value. So what's an hour of your time worth? $300, $500, $1,000 an hour? If you're performing service as a contractor or a sales professional, as a sales professional, you can absolutely be able to leverage your energy through multiple people at times if you're in certain businesses, or through product, services, benefits, and features. Or if you're an artist, you can create masterpieces that people will deem valuable, and they will be worth 6 figures or 7 figures, because the free market, you can ask for what the free market bears. If you're going to buy a little Cessna plane, there's a big difference between the Cessna plane and the Learjet. I mean, multiple differences because of the perceived value. And that's, the more you understand this. So this coin, this is a circulated coin. This is a $20 gold piece. So because it's circulated, it's not that scarce. And so the value of the coin as a commodity for a collectible, it's not that valuable because it's not mint condition. However, because of the weight of the gold, because this is a 1.2 ounces of gold, it's worth $5,000, because that is the value in the marketplace today. Whereas many years ago, that it wasn't that valuable. So the value you place on yourself will determine your deserve factor. And as you continue to feel better and better about yourself, it's called the value ladder. And the more valuable you feel, the more you love yourself, the more capable you are, the more that you feel about yourself, people will begin to see your value, and they will purchase more frequently in a relaxed body when you have service, value, and you feel good enough. That's the trifecta. That you deliver exceptional service, you feel valuable, and what you're selling is valuable, people see the value, and that your frequency energy that you are promoting and casting is coming from love and joy. You love what you do, you love people, you love the process, you love God, and you're in this space and people feel it. That is called charisma. And it's that love of the game, it's the love of the art, it's the as you're in that space, people can feel it, and then they want to buy from you, they line up from you. I've spoken at large events before where I'd have 20 or 30 people in line waiting to hire me to be a coach. It's a wonderful experience, and I earned that by letting go of not being good enough, being a rock bottom addict, alcoholic, ending up in a heroin alcohol clinic in Ceres, California in 1988 at rock bottom. I'm going to do more and more content on the man or woman who comes from rock bottom, because the man and woman who comes from rock bottom has absolutely learned that they can stand alone. It's not the people that stand beside them. It's the person you become to stand beside yourself. And as you become better and better in this process of being good enough, you will no longer require recognition. You can dine alone. You are absolutely in your power. Jeffery Combs, president and founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Good to see you, Wayne. Awesome that you're here this afternoon. If you're watching this on replay, give me a fist fire for a replay. You have an outstanding afternoon.